Hey everyone, how's it going? So now our retweet system is working. You can retweet, you can unretweet, and you can also see who retweeted it as well. So what we'll do now is work on the last remaining button here, which is the reply one. So when you click it, it's going to open up the reply part right here. If I click on something, it's going to let you reply to a post. So we'll need to open this little pop-up, and this is actually a Bootstrap modal, a modal window. So what we're going to do is go to Google and type in Bootstrap modal. Oops, that's nodal. Make sure you spell modal right. And we get this part right here. If you click on the top link, you should get to a page which looks something like this. And if I scroll down, you'll see examples of their modals. So I can click here to launch it, just to get a little demo. But there's loads of different modals they offer, like vertically centered ones. So there's all kinds of ones. So you can pick one out that you like. This one, what does this one have? Oh, this one you can even put buttons inside it. But we'll just go from the top, and I think this one here will do us. It's just a simple one with 2 buttons. So you can see you need the modal HTML, and then you also need a button which has these properties right here. Sorry, let me scroll across. These properties right here. So the way the button fires this is by having this data toggle and data target. So data toggle tells it that it's going to open up the modal, and data target is which modal to open. So you can see example modal here is the ID, and this modal will have an ID of example modal. So that's how it works. So what we're going to do is take one of these. So just take the modal you like. I'm just going to do, like I said, the example one right here. So I'll go down to the working demo version, which is this one, and just copy that. Now, this is a lot of HTML code, of course, and we're working with Pug. So I'm going to go to our trusty Pug to HTML converter. Just click on any of these. The top link, bottom link, it's probably all the same. And I'm going to paste my code in there, and it will give us this code but converted to Pug. Okay, so I'll copy that, and I'll go back to our file. Where are we? We're going to put this in the mixins file. Do you remember the mixins file, which is where we created the post form? And I said this is a way we can create like functions, which will give us the components we want. So we will do a separate one for the post modal, or sorry, the reply modal. We'll call it. So first we have to say mixin, and then we'll call the function create reply modal. And inside there, it's going to take one parameter, and that's just going to be the user logged in, and I'm going to paste this stuff in there. Now I've just pasted it and the tabbing's a little bit off, so make sure you pay attention to the tabbing, because like I said, the tabbing definitely matters with the Pug stuff. So make sure you highlight this and just fix the tabbing if the tabbing looked odd to you. So I've tabbed all this across, right, and I'll save it, and let's go ahead and get this modal showing. So we're going to change some of these details. I'm going to get rid of the example modal as the ID. I will add our own ID. I will use reply modal, and then I'll go across. Instead of example modal label, we can just say reply modal label. I'm just looking for anything else which has example. So example modal label right here. We're going to change this from that. Just change example to reply. So it's now reply modal label. Now, for the title, what did I use in my post? Let me see. I used reply as the title, so just put reply there. Now, the body, will come back and do this in a bit once we know the modal's working. This will be the actual content of the modal. Now, the reply button, we're going to actually add an ID to the save changes button. We're going to add an ID, so just after the button, I'm adding a £, and I'll call this submit reply button. And then I'll also add a disabled property, disabled, like that. Disabled equals, and then you have to put your empty single quotes so that it will add the disabled property. And the text of the button is just going to be reply. So the reason I'm doing that is because just like on the main form, we want to enable this button when they type, and when there's nothing in there, we want it to be disabled. So right from the start, we want to disable the button. Now I think that's okay for now. So what we'll do is call this function. So give this a save. I'll copy the name of the function. And where do we want to add this? Well, let's add it on the home page. So home.pug. In the content block, I'm just going to say create reply modal, and I'll pass in the user logged in. Now, obviously, we haven't used the useLoggedIn variable yet, but we will use it once we go to create the content of the modal. So give that a save, and I'm just thinking, oh, we need to hook the button up, actually. So in common.js, the button that we'll press to open the modal is going to be this one right here, this reply button. So what we want to do is give this button a data toggle of modal. And I'm just copying what we have on their website. You can see they have data toggle modal and also data target. So the data target is just going to be, wait, where is it? Here. The data target is going to be the ID of the pop-up you want to open. And of course, in our mixins, we called it reply modal as the ID. So just put that in there. Oh, it needs the pound sign as well. And that should be good. If we've done this right, it will open the modal when we press the reply button now. So let's see. And it does. It opens the modal, but it's transparent. And I know why that is. So this is an example of why it's really important to have the tabbing correct, because this would be really hard to debug otherwise. But I had this before, and the way I found out was by like going through the whole HTML to try and figure out why this isn't working. So the style, the bootstrap style isn't being applied in the right places because the HTML structure is not quite right. So it means the structure isn't meeting the CSS selectors. But basically, all it is there's a tabbing issue in this. Now, I can see what it is right here. I actually spotted it when I pasted this in, but I didn't want to say anything because it's good for you to see what the issue could be. Because I think a lot of you, when they paste this, will have the same issue. So the modal content div is supposed to be containing all of this stuff. So I'll highlight the header, body, and footer and tab them across so that they're inside of the modal content. Okay, so let's refresh the page, and I'll show you that now we have a modal which is styled correctly. So just be careful of that when you're copying and pasting style across, that you have to make sure the tab structure is correct.